fellow grant seekers. I'm so glad you're joining me today for an introduction to FDO, or what we call Foundation Directory Online. This directory is an online database that allows you, the grant seeker, to search grants that have been given for projects like yours. And so it increases the opportunity for you to be able to find funding for the grants that you need to be using. So we're going to dive right in today. After I tell you who I am, I'm Celeste Carlson, the Director of Community Services for the McPherson County Community Foundation. And today we're going to talk about how to do a search in FDO so that you can find funders that match what you're trying to fund. So before we do much of anything, the first thing you need to do when you're getting ready to do a search in FDO is to ask yourself 3 questions to identify your needs. First, you should be able to identify who you are serving. Are you serving the general population, or more specifically elderly or children? This is something that you will be able to do a search with. You also need to be able to say where you're doing the work that you are doing. Sometimes you need to be very specific. If you're in a big city, you might put the name of the city or the county. Here in Kansas, you might just put the entire state of Kansas. The third question that you should be asking is, what are you going to be doing for those that you are serving? Are you doing an after-school program? Are you doing music? Are you doing art? Are you doing dementia care? Whatever it is, this is something that you'll need to use to determine how to do that search. So what we are doing is a project-based search. Okay, and when you first open it up, I'm going to give you the link below, so look for that. You will have access using the link I'm sharing with you through the end of August 2020. This gives you Offsite access, so you can do the search wherever you're located and have connection. Otherwise, typically you would need to be here in my office to use that database that we subscribe to. So we become that library, and you're able to come here, use our Wi-Fi, and then you have access to what I'm about to show you. So when you first pull up that link, this is what you will see on your screen. And you will need to type in the answer to those 3 questions right here and describe what you are trying to fund. For example, health after-school program for low-income kids in Atlanta, Georgia. In our case, I would skip Atlanta, Georgia, and I would just put the entire state of Kansas. Unless you're in Kansas City, then you might put Kansas City. But otherwise, I would just put Kansas. And then you would click on the search button. And this is what you would see. It'll show you up here the terms that they use and pulled out of your search. And then you can decide if you want to use all of these or can X them out. You can take them off of your search and redo a search. And that allows you to adjust what you think you are looking for. And the way to determine that is by looking at this screen down here. Now, for the free access, the grants portion is going to be grayed out. You will not be able to see or search that area of the database. But the most important part is the grant maker profile, and I'm going to show you how to search those profiles to find a funder that fits what you're trying to fund. So as you can see here, they pulled up 2,700 grant makers based on their search. And those are listed down below, and you can view them all by clicking the View All. Right now they have the top 5 listed. And a couple of things I will point out about this is that it tells the name of the grant maker, where the grant maker is located, their total assets, their total giving based on the search that you have entered, the total amount funded based on the search that you have entered, and the grant count, again, based on the search that you have entered. So if you want to change any of this information, the number of grant makers that you've pulled, and the grant count, then you can do that by going up to this area here and either entering more information or taking information off to narrow or broaden your search as you see fit. So as you can see over here, for the low income after school program, their biggest grant maker is the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They have given over 4,000 grants to this particular type of programming. And so this is one that you will want to connect with and try and learn about to be able to find some funding. Because look at how much they have funded, over $11 billion towards that out of school learning for health in Atlanta, Georgia. So you will want to be able to do, to look into that profile. So I'm talking about saying that you want to look into this profile, and I'm going to show you some ways to determine if this profile is a good one to keep doing your research on, to see if this is somebody that you want to try and connect with to see about finding funding for your project. So I recommend that you ask yourself these 5 questions. Do I meet the funder's requirements? This could be a variety of things. It could be your mission, or where you're located, or the kind of money that you're asking for, capital or program. And so we will talk about how to know if you meet their requirements. Is my mission or project's goal a priority for this funder? We will look at that as well. How big are their grants? Sometimes you'll need to know how big to ask, how big or small to put in your grant application, and this will be, I'll show you how to determine what their grant sizes typically are. And does this funder support organizations like mine? Are you a church? Are you a school? Are you another kind of organization? This profile, as we go into the search a little bit better, I'll show you how to determine if you are able to access funds based on how they've given before. And finally, do I know anybody associated with this funder? And if the answer is no, I will show you how you can learn about who to connect with and how to do that. So the first thing you want to do after you've kind of decided, well, maybe I want to check that one out, is you want to access that funder's profile. So the way to do that is you would just click into that funder. This is a link, and so it will take you to their profile. Once on their profile, this is the first thing that you will see at the top of the page. It tells you what is being funded, their top subjects. This is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They are most concerned about health and international relations. Where in the United States are they funding? Well, they're funding California, Washington, even Kansas and Georgia. So as you can see, this is a good prospect. Doesn't matter where in the U.S. you are. And then how big are their grants? Over here you will see this bar graph. On the right-hand side, mostly it's $1 million plus. That's the size of the grants. And as you can see, it's the tallest one. That's the most common size grant they give. But they also give $100,000 to $500,000, $500,000 to $1 million, and on down from there. The smaller grants are not as typical as the larger grants in this case. So a couple of things that I will show you about this profile when you're in it. You'll be able to access their website if they have one, connect on LinkedIn, Who's Who, and then over here at the very right-hand side, you can go right up to the top of the profile if you need to maneuver through. And then the other part of the profile is this menu here. And we're going to talk about several different areas of the menu, but the first thing you'll want to look at is the applications, RFPs, and giving limitations. It's right under here. It says giving limitations, and that's what this box is. The giving limitations is going to tell you pretty quickly if this is a funder that you should continue to research, or if it's somebody that you should put to the side and maybe consider for a different project or not at all. The other portion, something else you can look at is the who's who. If you feel like this is a good one that you want to pursue, you can go to the who's who section. It tells you who their officers and trustees are. It tells you who their staff are, and potentially if they have any job openings. The reason this is important here is because if you know somebody, or if you know somebody who knows somebody who is connected here, you can connect that way. You can connect through LinkedIn if they have the blue LinkedIn connector. You can also down on in the contact section, the very bottom of the menu is the contact section. It tells you their Facebook profile, their website, specific people to connect with, and that is going to be important as well if you want to connect with this funder. Another section is about the funder, and it's the third one down, and it tells you the different areas that they like to fund specifically. And so this is a key piece of information that will help you in your search. The next place, if you've determined that this might be a good one to continue doing some research into or making a connection with, you're going to want to look at the applications and RFPs. As you can see, it's right above the giving limitations, and this tells you how to connect with the funder. So for example, for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they say here, no mail-in applications are accepted. You have to do it online. That is the only way. Another portion of the menu to go to is communications. This lists all of the different things that they publish in so that you can get to know them as a funder, the different things that they think are important or are priority areas for them. So let's say you get through here and you find that this is a really good funder for you and you want to save this so that you can continue doing some searching with this funder. You can save your results in a variety of ways, 2 ways actually. Down here, you will notice that there's a PDF square and a mail square. If you do the PDF, if you click on that, it will download a PDF of the entire Grantmaker record to your computer for further search. Even after August 31st, you would have access then to that profile. Also, you can email it to somebody. You can email it to yourself, or if you have somebody or a team that you're working with, you can email it to other people to help you determine if this is a good fit to continue looking into. I recommend, if I were you, doing your search as much as possible between now and August 31st so that you can do it in the convenience of your own home. And then after August 31st, you have all a variety of profiles that you can then do some further researching into. So after August 31st, where can you access FDO? Well, of course, you can come here to McPherson, Kansas. We'll give you access here on site. That access opens up a variety of different places within the profiles as well. So here, there are over 400 Funding Information Network partners across the nation, and you can access them as well. I'm going to put a link down below that tells you where you can find other libraries so that you can go in and do some searching there. And the reason that will be important to know is because, well, you can use this until August 31st in the convenience of your own home, but after that time you will have to connect with somebody else that has that database subscription. And so it will be important for you to know where to look. And so I'll put that link down below, and it'll tell you where those libraries are located. In addition, you can also have your own subscription to FDO. If you find that that is a really important piece for you, let me know. I'm glad to help you. I can tell you what give you some information regarding their subscriptions. So let's say you're in FDO and you have a question. Where do you get help? There are some self-serve resources, some of which I'll put down below. The FDO quick guide. Oh, my screen isn't moving. Well, so I will give you some information down below in the description box. It'll have a connector to their Foundation Directory Online YouTube channel, which has some really great videos on how to do a search in here. There's some help articles, there's the FDO quick guide, and also I want to tell you about Grant Space, and I'll put that link down below as well. This resource shows you, if you're new to writing grants, it gives options of other classes that you can take at your own pace or live. Some of those are free, and some of those have a fee associated with them, so look for those. They also, on their resources page, they have access to sample documents of grants that have been awarded, and so they are great examples of things like a letter of inquiry or a budget or other pieces of grant applications that you might be interested in. They give examples for you to look at. If you have questions when you're in FDO, you can also call me here at the foundation or email me. I'm glad to help you if I'm available. If I'm not available, they have a chat box on the FDO site itself, and anywhere you are, whatever screen you're on, there is a chat box, and so you can connect on that and get some help if I'm not available. So I'd love for you to keep in touch. Let me know if you found this video to be helpful to you. Again, my name is Celeste Carlson. My email is celeste@mcphersonfoundation.org, or you can give me a call at the office at 620-245-9070. Thank you so much. Have a great day.